Hello, trade pros. Welcome to our video for Saturday. I didn't prepare something for you specifically today, but what I wanted to do instead is show up live for you and talk about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And the last little bit, especially in the last couple weeks, we've seen a lot of downside movement in cryptos. And I think at this point, it's scared enough new traders out of the market that it now presents an opportunity to get long. Plus, in today's video, I'm going to show you who bought $400 million worth of Bitcoin near the lows of the $6,000 that we hit just a couple of days ago. All right, so we're going to cover that and more. It's going to be live, and I encourage you guys to ask questions during this time period. If you're watching the recording, that's okay. Leave the comments, leave your questions in the comment box, and I'll get to them as well. So let's jump in. I want to share my screen with you, and we're going to talk about cryptos. I'm going to take you through an analysis of the crypto price action, and we're going to specifically refer to Bitcoin. So we're going to start with doing a technical analysis and overview on Bitcoin, where it's been, what kind of price action we've experienced in the past that's been similar to what we've just gone through. Then I'm going to show you today's market, do some technical analysis on that, and then I'm going to tell you who the $400 million buyer was and what that means for you for a potential investment opportunity. First, I'm going to say this. When Bitcoin first came out to the market, I was skeptical as a trader, and I know a lot of people were as well. However, this skepticism from a lot of more older seasoned investors, and not in terms of age, but of experience, comes from the fact that something is new. So when something's new, it takes a while to get adopted. I think for the long term, cryptocurrencies are not going anywhere. I think blockchain is here to stay. And I think first and foremost, me as a trader, what I want to tell you guys is I believe that cryptocurrencies are a better long-term play, a better investment opportunity than they are short day trading stuff. If you want to day trade, there's a lot of other vehicles that we teach you how to day trade in our futures course that provide you a better risk-adjusted reward for every single dollar that you take. So for every dollar you risk, there's a better way to make a reward with lower volatility and higher degree of certainty and probabilities. So I don't believe they're in a massive day trading market. You can day trade them successfully, but what we're talking about in today's video is a longer time frame, more of an investment opportunity where you could put a few $100s and start out there, hold it for the long term, and add on dips. So this is a different outlook from somebody who's a chronic day trader. I like that, chronic day trader. Let me share the screen with you guys, and we'll get started. Let me just turn off this yellow screen thing. I'm using f.lux to save my eyes and to actually, you guys should check out that application. It's really good. It basically just removes the blue light from your screen. It's called f.lux. So there's a quick little tip for you. Let me share the screen. And now that you guys could see it, by the way, feel free to drop comments and questions as we go along. I'm also going to pull out my handy dandy pen tool here and we'll jump right into it. Let me just push the pen thing to the side so you guys can't see it. Hang on one moment. It's coming. 3, 2, 1. Where's my pen? It's not showing up. Okay, here it is. We're in action. So what I wanted to show you guys here is something very interesting. Let me push this thing over to the other screen that I got going. So here's Bitcoin price action in 2014. So when we started 2014, cryptocurrencies at the time had hit $1,000 for the first time. And when I say crypto, I mean Bitcoin in specific. What can you see? You could see there was a great degree of sell-off to start 2014. And at the time, there was similar talk going on to what you could hear in the press now. Near the 1,000 mark, the Bitcoin was the future. And when the prices started to crash near the lows, the media called it the biggest tulip bubble, and they used a lot of reference points for it that scared investors away. The first thing I want to tell you is this. Whatever the media says, you should do the exact opposite. All right, the media is not representative. They're not here to represent the everyday investor. They're here to create markets for institutional investors to sell to. All right, so they're always on the wrong side of the trend. So you can see in 2014, we dropped 91% in the cryptocurrency in a span of a couple of weeks. So what you're looking at here is a weekly chart. So if we take the ruler out and you see the $1,000 high down to the low, that took place in just 70 days. All right, so that was a down market. So first of all, what you need to know is this kind of sell-off happens very often in the crypto market. When there's a lot of sell stops, they get hit very, very quickly, rapid succession, they get hit simultaneously. So if you look at the price action in today's market, first and foremost, you'll notice it starts to take on a similar look and feel. So let me delete this Fibonacci's. We'll get to them in a second. You can see that the drop in the crypto in comparison to what happened in 2014 isn't as bad. Yes, we're down about 70%, and we did that drop in about 56 days. So we sold off pretty much in similar fashion to what we experienced in 2014. And through a technical analysis perspective, and I'll show you guys some neat things. We have these green zones that are support levels or TRADEPRO levels. They're system. There's a lot of Fibonacci in here, trend lines that are horizontal, and these supports represented good opportunities for the price to go down. Now you'll notice that there's a few of them up there, but on the way down, you don't know where the price level is going to stop. So one thing I always talk about in our futures course and a lot of our foundations course material as well is you could have an idea of a level, but a level is not an area to buy. A level becomes a buy when you have enough information to qualify the trade. So just because price action trades into a level, that is not reason enough to go out there and risk your hard-earned money to buy a trade or to get into a trade. So what you can see here in the crypto market is that we've gotten a pretty nice pullback. We've had an ABC retracement on the Bitcoin market, and you can see that we bottomed out just above $6,000 here on February 6th, and we've seen a little bit of upside. When we were trading around $10,000 mid-February, the one thing I told you guys on YouTube consistently and repeatedly is that I didn't think the selling was over. And why didn't I think that? Because as you could see, down moves, they occurred on increasing volume. And you could see here as well, down moves, you got more increasing volume. Well, recently, in the last couple of days, you've seen quite a bit of a rally from 6,000 to just over 10,000 now to close into the Friday session. But that also has occurred on low volume. So while I'm starting to get ready to look for a bullish opportunity here in the cryptocurrency or in the Bitcoin market more specifically, I don't think this is the time to get in there and stick your neck out for a long position. I think what you need to do is wait for a pullback. Now, what would qualify a pullback as a buying opportunity? Well, if you look at 94.32 down to about 8,600, first and foremost, that's our next support level to the downside. If you see a few down days on the daily chart, and this is what we really need to see now, you want to see a sell-off happen in the next couple days where volume is weak. If the next move down happens on some increasing volume, and what is increasing volume? Volume is always relative to the most recent past. So if we get anything above the 9-day average, that is an increase of volume. So if we see a sell-off in the next couple sessions while volume is increasing, that immediately disqualifies you for your timing to try along, because no matter what's happened, volume is an indication. And I always share this analogy. Picture this. Imagine being in a car driving down the freeway with your foot on the gas pedal. What happens once you really do a sudden stop, but you know that it doesn't have enough momentum and inertia to continue going forever? It starts to decrease, decelerate until eventually it stops if your foot's off the gas. Volume is the same thing to stock price that the gas pedal is to your car on the freeway. If there's no volume going with the price, that means that that movement will eventually decelerate and potentially even halt and stop dead in its tracks and reverse. All right, so that's what you need to know. So what you're looking at in the next couple days here from a technical perspective is a sell-off on some low volume. If this sell-off drops and you see an increase of volume, stay away. The time is not even right to consider getting long for even the medium to long term. So what we're talking about here in today's broadcast essentially is how to find long-term investment opportunities, but how to do that on a shorter time frame. There's a misconception out there that if you're trading longer term, you have to take on more risk to enter your position. But that's not true. What you could actually do is be a day trader, be a shorter term trader to find your entry, and then once switch to a longer term or medium term trader who holds and accumulates the position from there. Getting into your first piece of a position is the most important part, and you want to risk the least and get into the most high probability area, and then you can start to accumulate on every dip going forward. So here's how I'm going to break it down. If you're already long some Bitcoin, if you've held it for a while, this dip is an opportunity to add to your position. If you're looking to get in, you got to be very careful, because I don't think this rally is going to continue on to the 20,000 and break out. I think we're going to get a downside move first, and depending on volume, that could qualify a lower risk, higher probability opportunity for you. All right, so that's what I'm looking for. Anywhere between 8,600 to about 9,400 on the downside on some weakening volume should be good. Now, if you look at momentum, you could see that the RSI has bottomed out from the bottom here. It started to turn positive. MACD's also crossed, and your traditional momentum indicator has actually been showing some bullish divergence. You can see there was no low hit here in February on momentum where price did hit a low. So when you see prices dropping but momentum is not, that is actually a bullish divergence, which could signal a medium to longer term movement to the upside. Now that we know we have a movement to the upside potential, we have to find the best time. Days, I'll keep you guys posted on our morning market updates for Bitcoin. I think we're close to an opportunity to get long for a trade here. I just don't think the timing is right this particular moment. Right now, you'd be chasing it. You'd be getting in at a point where the sell side is going to probably try to move in and push the price a little bit lower. You could see every single rally on this sell-off has failed and pushed lower. Why is this one going to be any different? So far, it's not any different, but when you start to see volume to the downside decrease and volume to the upside increase, now you're playing with the institutional money. You're playing in the same direction as them and not against them. All right, so I hope this has been very helpful for you guys, and I'll also tell you who the mysterious buyer was. So let me just find the transaction. This guy, this mysterious buyer, put in $400 million worth of capital at play. So first of all, this isn't a small account. This isn't a couple $100. This is a massive institutional position that went into the market. They single-handedly on this transaction became the third biggest holder of Bitcoin. And how do we know that? Well, Bitcoin's digital wallets, there's actually an address that you could check. It's a public information. You could actually look at how much money people have in their wallet. It's open, it's transparent. That's one of the big benefits of the crypto markets, Bitcoin in particular, of blockchain overall. So we know that there was a 400 million buyer. We know the wallet number, and now we also know who it is. All right, so the mysterious buyer was actually the former Fortress macro hedge fund manager, Mike Novogratz. Mike Novogratz has been very bullish on Bitcoin. He had a significant position before. He had about 15 to 20 million. Sell off down to the 6,000. He added 4,000 Bitcoin to his position. $400 million invested at that price point. When you start to see an accumulation of buying like that, that right there is one of your qualifiers that institutional interest is coming back in. I'll tell you guys one thing. There isn't anyone in the institutional side of trading that isn't interested or captivated by this market. And this right here is a really good opportunity for the smart money to get in on a low and start to accumulate a bit of a position. So if I had to sum it up like this, I would tell you the following. Let me go back on here and end it off with my face. I'll go on camera once again just to kind of wrap it up for you guys. All right, here's how you put all this together. We've had crashes like this before, all right? Bitcoin has survived. Let me give you an example. If you had bought Bitcoin at $1,000 and the price had crashed 80, 90%, would you still have money today? You'd have. The first thing I want to mention is this market moves in very volatile nature. So get used to that. Don't let that scare you out of the market. Use that as an opportunity to get into the market. So first of all, this market is volatile. All right. Second of all, I think the larger term opportunity here is for an investment, not to day trade. I mean, you could day trade it profitably, great, but I think this is more of an investment opportunity for the long term. If Bitcoin is here to stay for the next 10, 20, 30 years, we're only getting started. This is the early adoption phase still that presents an opportunity for you. All right, in a few weeks' time, I'm going to bring in a Bitcoin expert. He's going to take us through an awesome presentation. We're working on it for you guys. It'll be very enlightening. But number one, expect volatility. Number two, know that you're in it for a little bit of a longer term. Number three, institutional money is starting to come into this market. And number four, these sell-offs are starting to get absorbed. Volume is starting to decline on the downside. Volume's increasing on the upside. So I think we're really going to get an opportunity here the next 1 to 3 weeks to buy into another sell-off on low volume, and that'll give us a great entry for the medium to long term. All right, you guys have any questions or comments? Emotional breakdowns, although I can't really help you with the emotional breakdown. I'm not a trained psychologist yet. That's coming in a few months. All right, I hope you guys found this useful. We'll be back here tomorrow, or not. Well, tomorrow I have a really fun update coming out as well, 1 p.m. Eastern. Then we're back on Tuesday morning at 9 a.m., but I'll have a video on Monday as well. Monday. And futures close at 1 p.m. Eastern. Stock markets are closed for the entire day. So we got a little bit of a long weekend. I hope you guys enjoy it. I wanted to come out live and share this information for you. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, comment, share, subscribe. We got a lot of awesome stuff coming your guys' way. And I'd love to hear from you in the comment section. What do you think about Bitcoin for the long term? How are you going to take advantage of it? And what do you want to learn about next? All right. I'd love to hear from you guys what topics you want us to cover. The best part about the TRADEPRO channel on YouTube is this is a community. I respond to comments personally, and I love to hear what you guys need. So this is a channel built TRADEPRO within our community. Thanks a bunch, guys. I hope you enjoyed this information. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Have yourselves a wonderful weekend with the family. Enjoy some of this time off, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Have a great day. We'll chat soon. All the best. And I appreciate you guys. I want you to know that. I think we're building is you, the person listening on the other side. I'm here for you guys. Take care. Have a great day. See you soon. Goodbye.